Hello folks, I am back yet again for another review, and today we are taking a look at this. I got the wrong side, is an Athearn Genesis Canadian Pacific SD70ACU numbered 7022 in the Canadian Pacific Support Our Troops paint scheme. I got this locomotive for $350, not $359. The original price on this is $475, so I think I got a pretty good deal. The SKU or product number on this is ATHG75805. This has Tsunami to sound if it wasn't already visible. And yeah, without any further ado, let's open it up. So the box has this cardboard sleeve on it for some reason. This model is also a 75th anniversary edition. I'm not sure if that's really anything special. But also just to note, for later in the video, this model on the box says it's copyright 2019. Please keep that in mind. Let's open it up. So here we have a newsletter for Ahearn News, copyrighted 2016. And then here we have the Ahearn warranty, if I can open it, which I can. And then what fell here is the Ahearn Genesis sound manual for Tsunami 2, as close to real as it gets, which is a lie because it's not even close to being real. So, and then if we scroll through, we will get to the function sheet. And yeah, this is copyrighted 2020. And last but not least here, the exploded diagram. There's 246 parts on this model, which is quite a lot. And of course, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the locomotive itself. And yeah, there it is in the box. There is a little slit here in the foam, but there's nothing inside. There that is. This is a very tight box. I should say clamshell. I think this is a clamshell. And yeah, it has soft plastic covering the model, which likes to get stuck to it. Although it might sound heavy, it's really not heavy. There is some foam just in the side handrails, just the bottom handrails, which is a bit dumb in my opinion. I don't really get why you would just put the foam there. Whoops. I feel like it would make more sense to put it here on the model than there because, well, this part is more susceptible to being hidden, I mean being hit. So I don't know why they would put it there, but they did. And yeah, so here's the model. Forgot to cut my nails again. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Although, one of the things that or multiple things that I don't really like about this model is the fact that there is no etched metal. This is not etched. The fans are not etched. None of them are. This is, though, which is strange because you can't even really see through it. So I don't know why they etched it, but they did. They also etched the steps, which again is a bit strange because you're not really going to see it on this model. But regardless, so that is etched. At least the steps are. The horn is a plastic horn. The exhaust and that little vent there is a see-through one, but none of the vents on the side are see-through. The model, unfortunately, does not feature roller bearings, which again, most locomotives in 2020 did, so I'm not sure why these ones don't. Then this model is equipped with plastic couplers, which again, I have plastic couplers on some of my other Athearn models, and they constantly let go when pulling pulling a train of about 30 cars. So yeah, not really too good. And then this locomotive also has metal chains, which are actually quite surprising. Most manufacturers don't do that, which is nice to see. The locomotive does have a detachable cab, showing that it does have a fully detailed interior with cab stands, which is really nice. Then the locomotive does also have etched steps. There is no traction motor detail. And yeah, so I'm going to open this up here soon. I say soon, I'm not opening it now, but yeah. Just to show y'all folks how light this thing really is. But yeah, so yeah. Alrighty folks, let's go over to the coupler height test. Alright, so for the coupler height test here, as usual, we're going to be using the tangent scale hopper because this thing is built to the NMRA standards. And of course on the right here, the Canadian Pacific SD70ACU. So let's test the front here first. This is accurate. Good job, Athearn. Now let's see the rear of this locomotive. And that is a little bit low, but that's not low enough to affect the locomotive's performance. So that is essentially fine. Just test it again. Yeah, that is a tiny, tiny bit low, but it's not like it's a problem. So still, pretty good job, Athearn. Alright, let's move on to the weigh-in. Alright, so here for the weigh-in, let's do the SD70ACU first on grams, of course, because grams is a superior measuring unit. Alright, so locomotive on. 674 grams, 67. And ounces, 23 ounces, 0.79. And for pounds, 1.78 pounds. And of course, back to grams, 674. And now just for comparison here, this is a Intermountain ET44AC. This is smaller, by the way. 734 grams. Again, almost a whole 100 grams heavier. 25.89 ounces. And 1.99 pounds. And just for length comparison here, there's ET44. And of course, let's just go back to back here. You can see how much bigger the, SD70ACU actually is compared to the ET44. And you can see that is lined up perfectly. So yeah, it is a lot wider too, the SD70ACU, at least from what I can tell, it looks a lot wider. So yeah, not really sure why that's so much lighter, but Athearn made it like that. Now, I will open this thing up and see what it looks like inside, and see if it's possible to add this much weight in. Or I should really say, this much. We will see though. Alright, let's open it up. And there it is. So yeah, as you can see, it is a very basic design. I say basic design. It's just a standard Athearn design. There's no proper pickups on the wires, so, or there's no, I guess, wire pickups. Wire pickups. I mean pickups like the sprung ones, the pogo pickups like that, or pogo connectors, because those are better in my opinion, so there's like no wiring when you use the pogo ones. But if I do a comparison here, and you can see that there's no fans going into the shell, which again would have been good for sound, but yeah, they said nope, no good sound for you. And yeah, you can really see there how much room there is in the shell. Now if I just were to lower the camera here, just so I can get you guys a better view, or guys and girls, you can truly see how much room there is inside this locomotive. Which again is truly insane in my opinion that there's like that much room, but they choose not to use it. So yeah, very disappointing in my opinion. Which again, none of the wires actually run in that area, so I'm not sure why they couldn't have just stuck a weight on the top and could have made the pulling power a lot better. But let's see, can I fit this whole sleeve of lead up top? Let's see. This would be how many ounces? This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 ounces extra to this locomotive. Alright, so moment of truth. I actually got all 6 ounces in. Somehow. Please don't make me have to rip all this stuff out. This will be a nightmare. Oh, God's sakes. Really? What's it getting stuck on? The speaker, I guess? I think the speaker is, what it's stuck on. Because how high does that go? All the way? No, that should be enough room, actually. Hold on, might have just done it wrong. No, okay, I have to move the speaker a bit then. And, that's still hitting. Okay, so this is the final amount of weight I was able to fit into the model. I got 1 ounce here, about half an ounce there and on this side, because there's a lot of room in there. And then, of course, I have 2, 4, 6 ounces there. So in total, about 7.5 ounces of weight into the model. So yeah, a pretty good amount. And if we weigh the model now, it now weighs 784 grams, which the ET44 weighs 734. So yeah, pretty big difference, I will say. Alrighty folks, let's head down to the function session. Alrighty folks, so over here for the function session now. Please note this locomotive turns on immediately. I should say the prime mover turns on immediately as soon as the layout power is applied. So please note with that. So yeah, alright, without any further ado, let's begin. Alrighty, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed that function session. So yeah, now time for the running session. I was about to say function session again. So yeah, alrighty, folks. I do hope you enjoyed that. Keep in mind, I filmed this running session before I put the weight inside. Without the weight inside, it can only pull about 15 cars. I haven't tested it without the with the weight, so yeah, I'm not sure what that could really pull. Keep in mind, this is 15 cars whilst slipping up my 2 or 3%. I don't know how much of a percentage it is. If anyone knows how to calculate a grade, please let me know, because I would like to know what my grade actually is. But alright, hope you all enjoy this running session. Alrighty, folks, I hope y'all enjoyed this review of this Athearn Genesis SD70ACU in the Canadian Pacific Support Our Troops paint scheme. I think this locomotive is pretty good, but of course there are a couple downsides like the not moving roller bearings, the plastic couplers, the lack of etched metal, which again, if it had etched metal, it would probably sound a lot better because there would be more space for the sound to get out of the locomotive, of course, and yeah, of course, a lot more weight from the factory, which again, they're missing a lot. Not sure why they did that, but they chose to. Regardless, though, it is pretty cool how it has a removable roof, and you can put crew figures in very, very easily. That is a very nice feature, that's for sure. But let's look at the downsides here. Like I said, no moving roller bearings, plastic couplers, and well, in my opinion, the worst of all, Tsunami 2. I think Tsunami 2 is personally very bad. Now, again, it's not Lock Sound, which, again, Lock Sound, in my opinion, is probably one of the best, if not the best, sound system on the market that you can get with factory stock locomotives. I think Lock Sound has the best tuning capabilities out of all the decoders, and it for sure has better slow speed than this decoder does. Like I showed, I didn't say it, I think I forgot to. The locomotive, even on speed step 1, with CV2 turned down to 1, it still moves pretty fast compared to my ET44s or my SD60Fs or my Dash 8 40 CMs or my F3s or my SD40s. Like, they're still a lot slower than this thing is, so it's a nightmare to even try to, or even to attempt to speed sync any other locomotive that doesn't have tsunami to a tsunami locomotive. And again, like, not to mention the startup, I'm not sure why it has this bell sound when it should be like a meep, 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 then a like that. So I'm not sure how they, I guess, forgot that. Unless, of course, tsunami sound files aren't capable of doing that. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the tsunami sound. I'm really not. I would have preferred either TCS or maybe a lock sound. I was really hoping this model would have been DCC ready, but no. Unfortunately, it was a DCC sound equipped model. But at least Tsunami does offer DC ready models, which is good for those who want to put better sound systems inside than crappy Tsunami. Something else I also want to mention here is that it is quite strange the dating on the box. I'm not sure when this model was made, because the warranty card says 2021, the sound sheet says 2020, or yeah, I think it was 2020, and then the box is dated 2019. So very strange here. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, so interesting there. And then I do like the cabin interior. That is really good. Um, but then also I will say, despite it saying it's as close to real as it gets, um, I just don't think that really is true. Mainly because there is no rotating roller bearings or a lot of etched metal like scale trains locomotives usually have. Um, but then like I said earlier, the ditch lights, I didn't say this. The ditch lights turn on immediately. There is no, like, delay like a lock sound locomotive where they slowly turn on. It's instant, which is something I don't like again. Which, again, you can't change that because there's really no tuning with Tsunami. Unless you can, and I've missed it, but I've looked through the CVs and I don't see an option for that, unfortunately. So, yeah. But now for the points. My point system is based off multiple categories here. I start off with 100 points and I deduct points from there, usually in 5, 10, or 20 point increments. So, starting off here, I'm just going to take 10 points off for there being no roller bearings. Again, I know some people don't care about that, but it's something I do. So I'm going to be taking 10 points off for that, and it takes us down to 90. And that's really it. I don't really think there's anything else. Actually, no, 5 more points for the fact that the couplers are plastic. I can't let that slide. We need metal couplers, because that does make a big difference. So yeah, 85 points is where I think I'm going to leave it, because I don't really think there's anything else to really complain about. I think the model otherwise is pretty good. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it, folks. I hope y'all did enjoy this review. The locomotive scored a total of 85 points out of 100. I still think it's a model worth buying, but it would be even more worth buying if it had rotating roller bearings. But yeah, like I said, it's still a good locomotive. It runs good. It sounds meh, but yeah, overall, I think it's good. Alrighty, folks, thank you so much for watching my review here. I do hope y'all enjoyed. And yeah, if you can, please like and subscribe. It does greatly help out the channel. Alrighty, folks, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye, folks.